Oi, oi! Hello and welcome to episode 15, Jamie. I won't ruin it for the viewers and get my foot out, but we need 3 hands. Imagine what you could do if you had 3 hands. It's been a fairly eventful weekend, but not so much in the horse racing front, has it? We've had weather and terrible weather all over the weekend, causing carnage to some potentially decent cards. However, Sunday we were still treated to some pretty special action, to be honest with you. So we're going to review a couple of performances from there. We'll have a small glance ahead towards the weekend, nothing too specific on there, because, I mean, Jamie, let's just get it out there early for the 9 people that are watching. Thursday, you've managed to line something up for us, which we talked about earlier in the season, and a little bit excited about it. What did you sort out for us?
I sorted out a fella from Waterford, a fella who's a Brit, I think he is, and he's from Wexford, and a fella from Dublin. So that's aka the finishing line boys will be with us on Thursday night, live at 8:30 for the Cheltenham Trials preview, which is Sean Dunn, Tom Rain, and Andrew Halligan. Thanks to the boys for that.
Oh, it's going to be so good. And I see the Cheltenham changer on. I don't know whether it's Ian running the account at the moment, but Ian, I'm sorry. I know you WhatsApped me earlier, but that is why I'm otherwise engaged. We have just been talking off air about...
it is Ian, by the way. We all know it's Ian.
It's always Ian. But we have talked before then, Ian, about we know we want to do some more stuff with you anyway. So we will talk about a date that we can get you guys on as well. The live does me a favor. We can share it stream through both channels. But anywho, enough about the Cheltenham exchange. It's all about me. Our Cheltenham Festival preview, Jamie, was finally announced. There was clickbait last week. It wound a couple of people up. Christina, I think, was one of them. I'm sorry about that. But we couldn't say too much, literally just for the fact that we were waiting for the final message from Toaster on the Wednesday morning. Anywho, you know what it is now. It is free, right? There's a few more things to iron out, bits and pieces, but I'm going to make this a very special day, regardless of whether we continue doing this anymore. Who we've managed to get it sorted through seems keen and very willing to smash this year. I'm hopeful that we can turn this into a annual thing. However, some of the things we've got planned may mean that if it actually does go quite well tonight, we could shoot ourselves in the foot and we may not be allowed to do it next year. We may be banned from the world. But anyhow, it's going to be fantastic. I'm excited about it. Jamie's flying over. Jamie, actually, you did walk the course the other day. You sent me some pictures of you, didn't you, in a nice suit and tie last time you were at Coaster. But it's going to be a good day. You must be excited about it, mate. And I always say it, and I do genuinely mean it, mate. I appreciate the time that you spend doing this sort of content stuff with us. I know you love it, but it does consume a lot of time. You're actually flying over. What a boy. You excited about it?
Once I have a beer in my hand bought by you, I'd be happy.
Oh, free bar for you, mate. Free bar. And we're going to get there early as well, right? There's dog racing on beforehand. Now, I know not everyone's into the dogs, but it is going to be open class dogs. The Friday night, I will be doing a greyhound preview. So again, I know most people aren't that interested in it, but we've got one of the guys from Toaster that runs a special lot of stuff there that's helping us out. He's going on the preview. We're also going to hopefully get some people from Racing Post that do the greyhounds to be on that preview too. So it's going to be top tier. And because we will be there, there's a bit of a mingle going on as well. So hopefully more of you can turn up, or as many of you turn up as possible. Be a nice chance to do like a little catch up, just talk horses, dogs, whatever. Go through the football with Jamie, depending on what the results have been. And then obviously the preview will follow. And like I say, it is free. We have no intention of charging.
Wayne. Go Wayne, oh boy. Don't start. Seriously. Good luck. Bye.
But I want to know if he wants to come to Toaster. Can we get a special appearance from him?
Yeah. There's lovely. I saw there when I saw when you did your wraparound. There's a lovely big huge green dustbin there. He might end up now.
Right. I put him in the tin bin, or I've got rid of him for now because I don't want Jamie to get angry. You look like you were in a good mood earlier. Right, the date, Chris, the 3rd of March, Sunday the 3rd of March. So I think it fits in nicely with everything. We're mostly going to focus on handicaps, right? Because lots of previews, even the ones that I'll do on the channel, cover every single race, right? We know that's done to the deaths, and we know that time is of the essence. So it's going to be something a little bit different. We're buzzing about it. That's probably enough I need to say about this. Loads more stuff on Twitter. If you've got any questions, then drop me a message on there or ask me in here. Then that's about it. Another thing, Jamie, I got a little bit of abuse on the last Ranting Racing. I blame it on the fact that I didn't let us do it for a few weeks, that I was a bit out of sorts, still am, about the routine of what we do. and I got told off because I didn't talk about my channel profit and loss. So I'll quickly do that. No bets were suggested at the weekend.
You got a hammer there, Dave. Did you? The rare edition. The rare edition got you out of trouble.
Well, yeah, he did.
With your £100 on Pick Dory, he was always going to be beaten by an Irish horse.
I mean, he only just got done, didn't he? But yeah, it was 300 quid out. 300 quid out, 122.54 back, 177.46 negative. So 60% loss return on investment. Rolling return on investment 17.5%. So I don't mind that. It's not to be sniffed at. We obviously have other bets in there, here and there. One thing I will say about the Pick Dory thing, right? When I talked about it in terms of like a pricey type thing, after he jumped 3 fences, he traded at 11-8. So it wasn't a bet to get out of. I would have suggested that if that's what I wanted to do. Did that for us at the beginning of the season, but I'm still relatively happy with it. And there was no excuse from that performance. We talked about it, didn't we? Regardless of what that jump at the last, Pick Dory didn't make a mistake the whole way around. I know he made that little one at the end, but he ran the best as he possibly could. And on the day, just got beaten by a better horse. That's as simple as it is, as far as I'm concerned. That probably shoehorns us nicely into Allaho's performance of the weekend. I say we talk about him first, Jamie, and then we'll get some rants out of the way. We'll let some off the chest. Anyone in the comments got some rants, then get them in the comments. We'll read them out. The email box is a bunch of shit. Go on.
Tell Chris there in the comments, I know they're shit. And I'm a Man United fan all my life.
No, but don't tell him that because you want him to turn up. So
time on Sunday.
Time on the Sunday, the 3rd of March. Right. So the dog racing finishes about 6:09. I think we'll be starting pretty much straight after that. So we'll say roughly 6:30, but the dogs will start at 3. It's free entry from whenever you want to get there, 2 o'clock or something like that. So get there. Be there or be square. It's all going to be fine. If it comes down to first come, first serve, then those who turned up for the dogs will get first dibs. I'm not promising that's what's. Oh, he's an Aston Villa fan. It starts on the Monday the 4th. No,
an Aston Villa fan. Jeez, two up at Old Trafford, and they couldn't beat United.
Right, so we'll put this one in there. I'm going to ask you, mate, and then we're going to let it go to the comments as well. We'll do our rants, and we'll come back to what the vibe is in the comments. Because I feel like Allaho, even Alex, I feel like Allaho, I don't know. I feel like when you get these horses of an age and after an injury, there are a lot more people that I think that used to give him credit that almost want to have a go at him. And then you also get your fanboys like me that maybe want to still see the good inside them. Like when Duvan made that comeback in the John Durkan, I still fancy him for Rhino. We didn't see him after. Yada, yada, yada. So I'd like to know your performance. You guys in the comments, I want to know your thoughts on it too. Rate it out of 10, something like that. Give me your thoughts on Allaho as a horse, full stop. But Jamie, what did you make of it? Because it was one of those, right? When they first priced the market up, I appreciate it was putting at 8-1. Now getting £8 from Envoy Elan and then getting a little bit of weight from Allaho. 8-1 looked like the wrong price. On my tissue, I had 4-6. Allaho, I had him at 3-1. Envoy was about 5s, I think, and then I just went 40s the rest. They were $1 million to me, really. But obviously, the money came in for appreciate a little bit, and then obviously there was non-runners after non-runner after non-runner, and it was just left with Allaho on the day, probably up to half an hour before the off. Actually went out to about even money on the machine. Then the proper money came in. He went into about 4-6. But do you think that was some sort of sway in what people think of the performance because people better appreciate it because the price went in? Or like I just couldn't believe that he was an even money poke. He's a much better horse, even given the £5 to appreciate it. Appreciate has only ever once run to 160 over fences. Now I know people will say that Statler was quite close to him, but ultimately Appreciate has been beaten out of sight. French Dynamite's gone. It's mad to think the performance that he's done. Yes, it was windy. Yes, it was a slow, laborious one like a Capadana race, and people will say that it was sort of public school in the yard, just let him fucking win. But what more has he got to do? Surely you were impressed by it, even a little bit.
Yeah, I'd give him about a 7 out of 10, Dave, to be honest with you, in my book. Allaho's a horse that needs to dominate races. You can see that. If you look back, but the money actually, you're right there, the money came for Appreciate, and then Allaho drifted to even money was ludicrous in my book. Because Allaho, as you said, Appreciate has never run beyond 160. But what I see, this is the problem, I think, and I'll get onto it in another, maybe the ranting side of it, is like there's only one other horse in the race, French Dynamo, looks gone at the game, but probably the ground didn't suit really, or the style of the day didn't suit him. But Appreciate its best run really I ever saw was in the John Durkan. Now look, the horses there, look, Gallopin was only a first time out, and fair enough, fast or slow on the race, but appreciate it seems to prefer to be out in front for the way Patrick Mullins had him out in the John Durkin, and this was never going to happen the last day. So look, the way I look at it with French Dynamite, Formized, French Dynamite, Sattler, Appreciated, they look like they're in no man's land, really, don't they, Dave? When it comes to like, where they're going for future targets, they're literally grade 2, grade 3 horses, really. Think about it. Allaho just did what he had to do. Onto the Reiner. I suppose he's still a horse to beat because he's probably the only one. He's the only 170 horse in the race. Looking at it, but my problem I have in my head, he's not a better horse than Allaho Stage Star, but Stage Star is going to pester him for the lead, and will they cut each other's throats? Now Allaho can power past Stage Star. There's no question, and he's going to be better on better ground. It's just me in the back of my head. He's been to the well so many times. He's running an Albert Bartlett. He's been beaten just on up straight by Champ in an RSA. 1-2 Ryanair's missed last year. Now back again. There's some nagging doubt in my head that he'll be beaten. And I hope he isn't, because he is a very good horse. There's no doubt. He's 10 times better a horse than all this in the field. But what's going to beat him? Stage Star won't anyway, not a hope. The only two horses you can see beat him at the moment is Banbridge if he gets goodish ground, which the goodish ground is going to suit Allaho anyway. But I still think last year's winner has a massive chance in the race, because I think the faster they go, the way the race was run last year in the Ryanair is going to suit him, and the better the ground, the better his chance as well. And it's Envoy Allen. So is Envoy Allen better horse than Allaho on his day? Not a hope, but it's just one of those things. He's either going to win or he's going to bomb out, or he'll go down on his shield, which is great, and I hope he does. But look, the head says he heart wants him to win, but the head's saying maybe not. But look, if he turns up to win like he did in these two Ryanairs, no one will get near him, will they?
Nope. And I think as well, it's exciting.
It's a catch 22. It's a 50-50. Do you go back to the proven banker of the years, or do you see can you get him beat? And that's the thing you have to do. It's called gambling, isn't it?
Well, exactly, and that's why I love the fact that this is being talked about so much. And I'm not getting like frustrated or annoyed by the digs at him, because I do get it, right? I do see it. I love the fact that this is turning this particular race, which was a bit of a no man's land dead race, wasn't it, the Ryanair, into actually like a pretty decent spectacle. Not to be rude, like the Gold Cup will always be class, but Gallopin Deschamps does look a standout Gold Cup winner this year. Even in the champion chase, it is El Fabio versus John Bon. I think most people think that El Fabio is going to do him. I still think John Bon could get to him, but like you wouldn't see anything else doing it. Whereas we could talk about the Ryanair, as much as I do like Allaho, and I do think he is the one to beat. There is a bit of depth to it. There's at least 2 or 3 horses you've mentioned there, like Envoy Allen. You can mention Stage Star. You can mention Banbridge. Legitimately, any of those 4, if they won the race, you wouldn't think it was a shock. It's got proper betting heat in it. And I know I think he's 5 to 2-ish top price now. I don't think he'll get pushed. I don't think he'll drift. But imagine you could get him like 7 to 2, 4 to 1 on the day, each way 3 players, mad like that.
Yeah.
He ain't going to bomb, is he?
I mean, like, there's another horse in the race that is massive price, but does he need soft ground? And it's another Chief Park horse, and it's classic getaway. Because if you look at the way he ran at the race in Tremor, he looked great for 2.5 miles, didn't he? And all of a sudden, the stamina stopped. Like, I know the ground was soft, and my old favourite won the race, and I backed him, Jungle Boogie. But that's besides the point. He looked very good for 2.5 miles, and he's definitely a dark horse in the race. But he's another horse that needs to dictate as well. So that's another factor in. Does he need to dictate? But he's a monster of a horse, like, so.
Yep.
Maybe he's a very dark horse for it as well, like, and he's a good price. But like, you're taking a massive chance on him to prove that he's up to Grade 1 standard.
Definitely. There's a few rides. I know it doesn't happen just because it's the day, but there's a few rides that Paul Townend I think is going to have to think about a bit, like with a Gaelic Warrior and like with an Allaho potentially. Like he's going to have to make a decision and do something with both those horses, because both of them could get pested. I know there's not necessarily anything they could go with Gaelic Warrior, but it's convenient that they might both be on the same day as well for me, because it might just be a case that, I don't know, tactically you can have a bash at a couple of them. I'm going to quickly skim through the comments of what people have said on the Allaho stuff. Then we'll go back to a rant, and then we'll talk about a little bit more horsey racing that we saw. Richard Hayday, 7 out of 10 for Allaho. I mean, I like this. We've got the right sort of audience. This is very much my kind of audience, isn't it, when I'm getting everyone sort of agreeing that he's good. Allaho will be boosted on the actual day of the race. I'll get on then. I mean, Chris likes it. No better sight than when Paul lets Allaho. It's true, isn't it? Watching him bowl along in front. Even when he took a little bit of a breather down the back, I was thinking, hang on a minute. Oh, he's just mad, isn't he? Appreciate was, he was a bit disappointing given the promise shown the John Durkin, but let's be honest. Appreciate it's a 10-year-old as well, isn't he? It's not as if it was younger lads that was taking him on. Yeah, there we go. 8 out of 10. Malalalala. And the thing is, mate, Allaho, like probably at least a few lengths better left-handed as well, isn't he? I mean,
he is. Yeah, the way he jumps his left. Anyway, you could see that yesterday. But
Yeah,
Chopper Wallop. I agree. He won't get an easy lead. Like, and that's he might. You know. But like, is it? I don't know. It's a funny one. I suppose it's just like if this was 2 seasons ago, you'd say they wouldn't get near him. Like, but just that's what it is.
Can't read anything to it. Tiny field, awful weather. It's true. It's true.
It's true.
It's true. One of them, isn't it?
It's one of them.
I still like him, and obviously I bet him at the beginning of the season. After Florian Porter defected away from the race, I thought he was going to go in, and a couple of other ones that might not go down so well. I'm relatively happy with him. He's like I don't think anyone would begrudge him getting another Ryanair.
Why was his price to start here? Like, you'd be very, very happy if you backed him at 6 to 1.
Yeah, six as I got. But I said it to you as well before we recorded last week. I was talking about Allaho a bit, and I said to you that he was out to like 5.8 on the exchanges after Banbridge had won. And I was tempted to go and top him up at like 9 to 2, 5 to 1. But I was a tiny bit worried about this entry this weekend because typically he wouldn't have run over Christmas and then run here. And I was thinking he looked a bit not the same old Allaho that first time up. And then the King George run was a good run. Maybe it left a little bit of a mark, but it was a good run considering it was so close up.
But I said to you, Dave, there the same when we were reviewing the King George, like he was rode to get the trip. And I didn't understand that because he's won a Punchestown Gold Cup. Been in the first 2 or 3 in the bandwagon in the Punchestown Gold Cup. And obviously, maybe the 2 horses behind him. The Punchestown Gold Cup that year weren't great. But he still is Punchestown an easier 3 than Kempton.
Well, I would say with the Kempton race, though, right? Harry Cobden's comments after with Brave Man's Game were quite interesting when he just said, Shishkin jumped himself to the front and he said, he knew, Cobden said, I know we were going too fast, but you don't give Shishkin a few lengths lead. So they had to go with him. And at the end of the day, Hewick, that was going to be pulled up in the circuit, finished. And typically, this a King George isn't necessarily won by the most stamina-laden horses, is it? But they probably did just go a bit too quick. And obviously, we've talked about Allaho there, like you mentioned it. He's Albert Bartlett. He's like RSA run. He's run well. I know he has one over 3 miles, but ultimately he doesn't really get the 3 miles.
No, he doesn't.
It's not like age is going to bring that out of him. And if anything, it was a positive sign that he didn't get the trip because when horses get older and they get it, it's because they're getting slower. So it's all happy days. We've definitely talked too much about Allaho, but fucking get in there, Allaho. We like him. Right, let's have a little bit of a rant about something. I'm going to let you go first, and I'm going to think of stuff because I've been in quite a good mood recently. You got anything to moan about this week? Ranting, racing? I don't know why I said ranting. Racing or otherwise?
I didn't really, Dave. To be honest, I was very happy like yourself yesterday. Bar Saint Segal not winning. I've shares in that horse. So I was second at Lingfield, but I have to thank Mr. Alexander Galpin for putting me onto In the Water side in the last. He's number 1 fan, and I backed him. It was a great price, 4 to 1, 9 to 2.
Good ride as well, wasn't it?
It was a great ride by Harry Compton. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Great choice of pace. No, it's just something I saw today, and I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to mention anything. It's just something that I put it to the public, really, as well. If they think, I see someone put out, and he's a fellow who's well known in Ireland, and he says about some horse that's been certain race be named after a certain race. I mean, like if that started, look, maybe they're told to do this, Dave. You know, like maybe because of you take stock. We've had no racing since Sunday, and they're told to write about this. But to me, it's writing crap about crap. You know what I mean? That's just me. Look, great article. I really enjoyed the read, to be honest with you. But if that sort of stuff bothers you, look, I could say a horse that is a 10-time winner at Leopardstown hasn't a race named after him. But I'm going to cry about it? No, I'm not. There's a lot of the things going on in the horse racing world about caring about. I couldn't care less what the name of the race is called once I back to winner if I'm having a bet in the race. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care how much it's worth. Now, the worth-wise, I'm going to get onto my next point. The worth-wise is coming factor in. As I said to you, I was talking to you about, I was waiting for the golfer for the Kim Muir. and he ran in the 2.5 mile handicap thing. I forgot that it was 80,000 to the winner at the DRF, where it was 32,000 to the winner of the Kimura, and sure, we were all looking at each other and stand by me back the horse. There's a lot of things going on in the racing world, like affordability checks, how much a race is worth, like Willie Munnins' absolute dominance when it comes now to the DRF on Saturday week. Do you know what I mean? And people forget that. But look, each their own. But to me, there's a lot more articles to put out there than putting articles about what a bloody name is raced. A horse's name is named after a race. Like, come on, like.
It's hard.
That's just
isn't it?
me.
I think
That's just me. But obviously, he's taking stock. It's a time of when there was no racing and there was nothing to write about, maybe. And I understand that.
Agreed.
And I understand that. I understand that. But write about something that's more topical, in my opinion.
It's one of those. It's like, especially like, it's cyclical so much as well, right? So there'll be people that will know races like the Hennessy, for example, the Royal Sun Alliance Novice Hurdle, people call it. Other people will know it as the Ballymore. Some people will know it as the Neptune. It is that little bit of cyclical stuff, isn't it? And it would be the same when it's named after a horse, wouldn't it?
Can you remember what the name of the race was before it was named after that horse?
What at Kempt, there's Silvianco Conti chase. It was great. They moved it to a grade 2 for that when they renamed it, didn't they, after him? I don't know what it was called before. It was listed race, I think, wasn't
it? Yeah, but what was it named?
Fuck knows.
Exactly. But look, that's just me. I'm just cribbing for.
I like it because you've got
but it's just something I saw, and I was like, "What?" Do you know what I mean?
But there's two ways to do a race, isn't there? You either call it, like, you've got the Limestone Lads in Ireland, for example. So you do have one, but it's been changed and stuff since. You get things like the Feltham Countess Star Novices Chase. You get ones that, like, they're steeped in history, even for like so many years when you used to have like the Magnus Gold Cup or those types of stuff. Like they try and make something stick with them. They like the World Hurdle. Lots of people took a long time to start calling that the Stayers Hurdle now. We've got other sponsorship deals that change, like the Albert Bartlett, the potato race, and it doesn't need to necessarily be named after a horse. They've all got like a little bit of affiliation with something. I will just say, with something like the Silvianco Conti chase, this is going to be this is probably going to go down like a real bad lead balloon. I'm probably going to get slapped saying this. It's the only way for me, when they made it a grade 2 race, to justify that they needed to bring some sort of gravitas to it, is what I feel like.
I agree.
If they just called it, I don't know, Ascot's Winter like chase or something, I don't think it would have the same draw. You might not get your like Edwardstone, Pickdorhe, and Banbridge going against each other. It is still a grade 2 by nature. I know it's the right sort of trip for those types of horses, but by naming it after something, they're doing it for a reason, to try and lure people in. I think in Ireland, you don't need to do that with your races. Like the Hatton's Grace would attract all the horses. The Mattisons will attract all the horses. Like even naming like the Jack de Bromhead Christmas Hurdle and stuff like that. Like there's better things to name them off after than historical horses. And when you list some of those horses as well, like when you have Hurricane Fly winning all those Irish Champion hurdles and you have Istibrat winning lots of races, like which one of them do you then say is the best of all of them? Yeah. Hard to pick between them, innit? And then it's not fair. It's like picking between your kids, isn't it?
But the Feltham, the Quarto Star, it's always going to be called the Feltham. The Hennessy's always going to be called the Hennessy.
Yeah.
The Brown Advisory is always going to be called the RSA.
But mate, one day it won't, Jamie. One day our kids will come up to us and they'll say, "I've had a bet in the the YouTube plate or something."
Yeah, and I'll say, "No, what, the RSA?"
What are you talking about, Dad? Yeah. But that's what I like. It's good with that stuff, and you know, I agree with what you're saying. They've written stuff for content, just to put something out in there, haven't they? Yeah. I think we could probably leave it there for the ranting type stuff. I don't have anything that jumps off the top of my head. I genuinely don't think there has been anything for a little while that's pissed me off. And I will say that has definitely coincided with the redundancy and having that little bit less stress in my life, mate. I am definitely not as much of an angry fucker as I used to be, or moany stuff. And then obviously we've been keeping ourselves busy, haven't we? We're building up to Cheltenham now, right? There's nothing to be sad about apart from the naysayers at Cheltenham. And luckily, this time of year, even the people that say, God, it's not all about Cheltenham, they can't say it now. Basically, from January the 1st until March, we get a good 3 months where even the naysayers happily leave us alone with it. Oh my God, it's going to be so good. What have we got? A couple of bits in here. Whoa, Dave! Whoa!
100% agree with him.
Fuck off.
100% agree with him. It's getting better and better. It's better.
not
It's
better.
better. It is
It's
better.
not.
You haven't even been there, so you can't
Yeah,
even say
no,
it.
but there's what's but so what we do? You're saying the experience at the Dublin Racing Festival, or we're saying the quality of the racing? Which festival's
Experience.
better for the racing?
Oh, the
Surely
Dublin Racing.
Cheltenham.
No, the Dublin Racing
Nothing beats
Festival. 150
Cheltenham.
miles. 100% it's better. It's got better. Yeah, way better. It's just way better. It's just a better. It's just more. It's just better.
Martin Lewis blocked a report. Oh fuck! Why is it? Fuck no! Right, look,
Yes.
I like Jet, like I love it. I think it's a great thing to have. Like Trials Day's been filthy every single year, and I'm so glad that they encompassed the meetings together. No, but I mean from a time
The
like from the
Trials
launch
Day
time,
last year. No, I will agree with you there. It was very good.
oh,
It has
yeah,
a
but
lot.
down the years, there's been some good ones. Some years it's a bit trash, but that's what's nice. Like we have like the basically the last couple of big weekends, didn't we, of Cheltenham Festival Cruise, which are good. And I think genuinely, if Cheltenham wasn't, oh, I feel like without Cheltenham, the Dublin Racing Festival wouldn't be as good because it is a stepping stone to
I understand
Cheltenham.
that part.
I think they complement each other. I think they are both very, 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 very good. But obviously, I love Cheltenham. But it's mad though, because I know a lot of people do talk about it and speaking highly of it. Let's be honest. I do think it's good that people like racing. Full stop. Can't we just? It is all about Cheltenham, Richard Hayday. Correct.
I know it's all about Cheltenham, but it's just a better. I think it's just a better experience now. I think Cheltenham does too many there. I think 50% of the people.
Yeah.
50% are just want to be on social media and say, "I've been at Cheltenham."
Yeah. There is a lot of like nobody type people. That's not as bad now. I remember when Samir Carruthers, I think it was for MK Dons, pissed in a cup, didn't he? When he was in the hospitality stuff at the top. People like that get out of the racing. You shouldn't be there. That's the only thing I don't like about Cheltenham.
But the only thing is, look, you were trying to attract an audience, and look, this is what it is, and it's people are going for the day out to say they're at Cheltenham. I suppose you can't have a problem with that. If they want to be there, they want to be there. You freedom of choice that way. But when I went first, it was pure horse racing crowd that went. Like, do you know what I mean?
And there is some special performance there. I do get that.
Over 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking that far back. But it's just grown. Obviously, it's grown and grown and grown. But like, I look, I'd love to do it one more time. I will say that before they build a coffin big enough for me. But I'd love to try. But it's just I like, you know, you're stuck into one spot kind of a thing at Cheltenham at the festival. You're queuing for ages for a beer. That's what it is. Do you know what I mean? I know when I went first time, I was like, yeah, you do your bets and you stand there for the whole day. Do you know what I mean? I like to move around, and that's me. Do you know what I mean? And as the older you get to, you know, when you're younger like that, you don't care. But I like to relax and, do you know what I mean? Like the Saturday I was there and I met you at the November meeting, it was busy, like, but it wasn't busy, huge. You know, like it wasn't crazy. Like, do you know what I mean? It was busy enough, obviously. The Sunday was nice. It was nice and relaxing, but there was no atmosphere there on the Sunday of the Greatwood. But do you know what I mean? There wasn't, and that was just me.
Oh yeah, but that's where it's terrible, isn't it? Because for like a tenner a ticket it was, or whatever it was for the like, it's sad that you get that. Like the people just don't spread themselves about enough, do they? But I will never have it that there's any better single days racing or weeks racing.
But look, the other side of it, like there's a couple of mates of mine now. We pick a place now every year, and we spend the 4 days together watching it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that. I just prefer watching it now in the pub. Not in a pub, but we go to like a pub restaurant now.
Yeah, but that's what I think the beauty.
You kind of make Cheltenham is you can make it as what you want to make.
100%, 100%.
You make it with people you know for years, and you can make your own crack. And
well, that's what we used to do. We used to go on the Tuesday every year, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday we'd watch it in a pub, and then Friday we watch it in a different pub. The thing with Dublin Racing Festival is like this year, there's a few people that can't go to it. I was going to fly on the Friday. I mean the Saturday. I'll see how it goes. But if not, we've already got a group of people that we're going to watch it together, or we'll get a flight over and watch it. I think that's the good thing with Dublin Racing Festival, isn't it? That you have got a weekend of decent racing that does get like that bit together as well. Because I think that is the main thing that makes horse racing all of it that bit better, is having purists there. And I suppose that's the big problem with Cheltenham, that it isn't just purists there. There's a lot of just fodder that just go there, like you say, just for the day out. But yeah, It's the bollocks, isn't it? You have to just make it your own. And I agree with you. It is very different when you start going there a bit older, innit? The good thing, Cheltenham's mad. They're in the town and stuff after the little traditions. That's the thing I love about it. Like the little traditions I've built up over the years. Can't believe the Sugley Arms are shut down because we used to go there for a Guinness before the racing. If you didn't, you'd never get a winner. But you can't do it anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. Since they changed the dress code, though, mate, last year was even worse at Cheltenham. We park in the town centre, we go for a beer and we'll walk down. And I know it sounds rude, right? But it's Cheltenham Festival. Make people fucking dress up. Make there be a dress code. You know, people in like trainers, shorts, all sorts of stuff. The worst part was when you get those type of people in there, I sound really rude saying this, and this is very much pigeonholing everyone the same, but there was groups of lads walking down the street with crates of beer and drinking cans and throwing around Presse Park stuff. And I've never seen that before in all the years I've gone to Cheltenham, littering the streets of that sort of crap. And that's a bit of a worry. Anyway, why have we got into that? It's making me fuming. I don't want to get angry tonight. I'm in a good mood.
I wouldn't mind. You can't even remember the Saturday night of Cheltenham.
Oh no, not a November meeting. Fuck no, mate. No fucking idea. I can't do that anymore. That was the thing with Cheltenham Festival Week, right? When we used to go there and stay down there, obviously you want to make a few quid, didn't you? When you're younger with less responsibilities, I mean, obviously it does matter, but if you had a good night out or whatever, like I felt fine with it. There was a couple of times we got that little bit older and we started getting like lives and partners and kids and shit. We'd wake up on the second fucking day and one of our mates would just see like a Rotacats flyer on the side and we'd be like, oh, fuck, especially when it's online banking and we were like, check your banks, boys. I remember one of my mates, I won't say his name, but he cashed out of a bet on the Thursday so he could pay for a dance. That's how desperate he got because of the drinking.
Oh my God.
But that's when you start to realise you need to just weigh it in a little bit more, don't you? Anywho, is there a dress code for your event? Yes. Birthday suits. No dress code. It's the dogs, isn't it? I'll be dressing up smart. It's going to be good. I've got a secret that you haven't been told yet, Jamie, but it's sort of not 100% confirmed, but pretty much confirmed. I will tell you that beforehand, but I'm not telling anybody about that as well. We've got at least one person that's going to be some sort of like little bit of an extra guest on the day, not fully on the panel, but giving us some information, which is some insight that punters out there will never get anywhere else. That's the key thing I want to guess I can like quickly touch on now with the preview stuff. I don't want to get it bookmaker sponsored. And I've actually had offers from a couple of people since to try and sponsor it, to try and get their names involved with it. Not interested. This is very much punters for punters. And that's why we don't want any. We could have got a trainer and we could have got a couple of jockeys there. But again, that's not what it's about. I don't want to be going to a preview where some of the time is wasted on a bookmaker sponsored boost that's trying to lure people in when actually we want to bet something else. And even when they don't even boost them to special prices. And when you get the jockeys and the trainers there, they will be honest to a degree, right? But they've got the vested interest, haven't they? I can't remember what it's called, conflict of interest. Like they're invested in it. There's only so much they can say. Whereas as punters, this is the beauty of all of this, right? We have the freedom to say what the fuck we want, and I don't mean we can go around and be mean or just say bad things or anything like that. But we're allowed to force our opinion, and we're allowed to be as bullish as we want to be about it. And on the night, you will see how bullish we are about a few of it. I'm very red. It's quite warm in here. Jamie, some more racing over the weekend. High Class Hero, horse you liked at the beginning of the season. When we spoke to Gavin, I love how you put that in there as well, about the fact that he tipped it up. And he's got some book when he's been sharing his prices and shorteners this year. So fair play to him. High Class Hero, what do you think of the performance? Because shortened up a bit, but on the exchanges is in and around the same sort of price as he was beforehand. So, right, what did you make of him? I've got one comment that I'll say straight after.
I know your comment's going to be he's a small little thing.
He was.
He's a small little thing. Yeah. He is a very good horse. Yeah, I really like him. He's a turn of foot. He couldn't really show the turn of foot there at Thurles. He's been running on good ground in the summer. He's definitely a player. Is he the winner? I've tipped him in a few things. I've backed him a few times. I have, yeah. Best price I got is 14s, I think. But he's still around 10 to 1. Like, he's still a good bet. He's a turn of foot, Dev, and the only thing, as you said, he's small. Will he be there at the end, and he's able for the grind up the hill of an Arab Bartlett? That's the only slight worry I have with him. But he just has a turn of foot. Jumping could be brushed up small, but he'll jump better on better ground. He's a huge player in the race. There's one horse that I'm waiting for. Do I think he'll go step up and trip for the Bartlett? But I'll wait till the DRF to reserve judgment on him. But I wouldn't put anyone off backing him in the Arab Bartlett. No, he's tailor-made for it.
Yeah, I think so. And I still think he's a fair price. We get this year in, year out, though, didn't we? That there's always a horse that does enough to maybe warrant being a bit shorter, but for whatever reason, the bookies don't want to shorten the horse. They always make me feel a little bit nervous. I didn't realize that he'd had a bit of an issue as well. I thought it was by design that they gave him a bit of a break before now. So you'd think he's only going to improve from that run. And he's getting plenty of experience in, isn't he? One thing I will just quickly mention, which is probably alluded to something that I should hold on to for a little while. Chapeau de Soleil, right, which I do still like him as the horse for Cheltenham. Do you reckon they could get a couple more spins in him before March? Michael Purcell run him at the Dublin Racing Festival for a pipe.
He still needs 2 more runs, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Yeah. I don't know about him, Dave. I think he might be like he reminds me of too many Richie horses that have been overhyped over the years. That's just me.
I watched his bumper back though again. Like he stays out from the back of the clouds, and they seem to be able to train him this year. I want to see him run a bit more before Cheltenham. I'm wondering.
I will say, Richie's talent is compared to what he has is Bar Gaelic Warrior is a bit thin on the ground. You know, he does have Salvatore Mundi to come. And I'd say
that Duvan video I shared, the golden era of Duvan, Valtor, Forheen, Annie Power was. Oh my God! What was it? Jack Adam as well was in there.
Yeah,
right. Richard Hayday just said about his Sky Bet have changed their reward bets from no expiry to 7. Oh, that is annoying because people used to bank them up for the Cheltenham Festival, didn't they? Brutal. Right. Performances from the weekend. We talked about high class hero there. L'Homme Presse versus Protectorat. I thought that was probably one hell of a performance from L'Homme Presse because I know Protectorat's been a bit, in and out this season, but good run from him. Looked like Charlie had to get to work on L'Homme Presse from a fair bit sooner than I thought he would have wanted to, but you could see that just shows the sort of form that Protectorat's in there. I know you like him as a horse. What did you think of L'Homme Presse? Did you think it was a good stepping stone towards Cheltenham? Do you think he was probably like not 100%, or do you reckon he was 100%? That's as good as he's going to be, and where do you think that puts him in the Gold Cup picture?
Sorry. Is Salvatore Mundi's Donnelly? Are you sure? I thought it was Richie. Aaron Bennett says, I might be wrong. Sorry if it is Donnelly. I'm sorry. Protectorat, I agree there. Martin Lewis, is he a handicapper? But his rating is probably too high now to be a handicapper, isn't he? He's still in the 160s. No horse will in handicap in Cheltenham at 160s. Honestly, he's like a £10 claimer on him. Very disappointing Protectorat, but he was never going to give £4 to L'Homme Presse. Like, not a hope. That was never going to happen. He's been in no man's land now as well. I thought the step down to 2 mile 6 would suit him.
Agreed.
But I don't know what to make of him now. L'Homme Presse, they're saying the Ascot chase now over 2.5 miles, isn't it? But like, I don't understand that because he doesn't like going right-handed. But I suppose that trip he might get away with it. If it rained very hard, Dave, on Gold Cup Day, he's a player big time. Big time because he likes Cheltenham and he's won on the new track. No, look, it's a dipper. It's 2.5 miles, but he's a huge player if the heavens open. On goodish ground. No, he's won it. Didn't he win the rehearsal? There was goodish enough ground that time in the rehearsal when he won at Newcastle off that top weight that time. Wasn't that bad of ground. So he's definitely a player. You'd want to see him again to back it up because he is best fresh in my opinion. But he's a player in a thin Gold Cup, so you'd have to have him there and thereabouts. Is he my idea to winner? No. That's just me. It's Gallopin de Champ all day.
Go on, the Gallopin. There probably was a few more reasonable performances from over the weekend, but I mean, again, like Fathead Snobby, they weren't really Cheltenham festively type performances. Is there anything else from the week? Was there anything else from the week that's gone apart from the weather that makes you think that we need to talk about it in terms of thinking Cheltenham? Or because obviously you've touched on the fact we've got the preview for Thursday, do we think we should wrap up Ranting and Racing early?
Oh, yeah, we're getting in 5 minutes. I'd say we'll be done for 3/4 of an hour. The other one, Dave, was that the Great Two Mares wasn't great, was it? Harmonia Maker and
Well, no.
Hot Too Rare.
I know I've cut you off there, right? I almost bet Harmonia Maker purely for the fact that every time it's run against that Houtier or whatever it is, she's always been favourite, right? Or she's always been shorter. And then the weight concession, all that sort of stuff, she looked the wrong price. And it was only from a price thing. Watched a few of her things and she jumps left, which is what put me off. but it is one of that. They're bad, aren't they? I know it sounds really mean, but that's the epitome of what I would say I struggle with mares is that when they're
just
inconsistent.
to say what Trevor Clark is. That's what I did hear, Trevor, that he was going to be held back, but I thought he was a Rich Ritchie horse. Hold on, I must find out now. I'm going to find out if this is a Rich Ritchie horse, Salvatore Monday.
Right. The comment that I've just pulled up on the screen was saying that.
Well, he is Donnelly, yeah. He is, yeah. Spot on.
Saying Impero Party's drifting for trials day, right? So we talked about this before air, didn't we, Jamie? I was saying to you the fact that he was 6-4 into 4-7. So has he drifted? I'm going to go quick look at that. Very, very poorly put together, this show, isn't it? But we're live. Do not. You can swear. Swear it's past the water, shouldn't it? Get fucked. Future racing. International hurdle. Yeah, he's not drifting, right? So, but it's not on odds checker, Lee, so you can't see the ins and outs of it. But he was 6-4 earlier. They then chopped him to 4-7.
Back to evens now.
He's evens now, and he's gone evens now because Lossy Mouth's been shortened up. So once odds checkers there, you can see the differences that are in there. But I guess sometimes you have to just look at market correction rather than like prices changing. So he's not technically on the drift. He was 6-4, so he's shortened a little bit. But yeah.
Martin Lewis, that's what's getting onto my point, exactly what Martin Lewis is saying there. I agree totally with Martin. When it comes to the mares, it's very open at the moment. And I just don't understand, as I said in our preview before, that Dino Blue is the favourite. Dino Blue has never won over 2.5 miles. And you think it's going to get up the hill over 2.5 miles for the mares chase in Cheltenham. Everyone thinks it's a banker. It's not a banker for me. It's a lay for me. Gidley Park, yeah, I agree there with Aaron Bennett. Gidley Park looks a monster. He's definitely the number one British horse to take on the Irish in a Ballymore, maybe. The Solarina, Trevor Clark says there. It's been brighter days ahead in Jade de Grugy. I'm on brighter days ahead, Trevor. Yeah.
No. Tom knows. Tom knows who wins the Mares Novice. You can have a spoiler as well. She'll be going up in my column tomorrow as the next anti-post bet.
I know, yeah. Yeah, but this Tara needs soft ground. And 3 miles, and will be run off its feet.
That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to do this one.
You're already doing that. I know, because I'm right.
I know. Right, this one we're going to quit. This is just like the last bit we'll do because we are going to just call it time. I know we could go on for ages, guys, and we do like to do that, but Thursday we've got the weekend preview with a lad, mostly trials day, but we better cover some other bits as well. This is just a quick early one, right? Gaelic Warrior runs at the Dublin Racing Festival, so I'm going to take this as it's not the question: is he going to run? Where would you run him? Would you put him up against Marine?
I'll put him up against Marine National, yeah, because Grange, Clare West, and Factifile are going to go into 2.5, one or the other, or they might both. But I can't see him running Gaelic Warrior, Grange, Clare West, or Factifile in one race. So he's going to have to go Gaelic 2 miles.
And I think Vega goes straight to Cheltenham. I know the bookies are priced out like you would think.
No, Vega will run. Facile Vega. Sorry, Facile Vega.
I think straight to Cheltenham. Doesn't like Leopardstown, does he?
But there's a lot of rain now. And there's a lot of rain. So if it gets soft, very soft, he'll run.
Who knows? But with the shoot at Leopardstown is quite narrow, isn't it? Because when Potter ran in the 2 mile 6 or 2 mile 5 race last year, he actually did hang to the rail, which is fine. You can get away with over there. But I didn't realise, again, I was watching the replays, I didn't realise how bad Mighty Potter hung. After the turns, when the gate opens, when there's like 3/4 of a furlong left, he hung bad. Side. That's a bit of a worry for me for Gaelic people. It'll be something else I'll talk about like a lot nearer the time, but like short in running lays to leave on certain horses. Like that, if Gaelic Warrior is going to do something stupid, he will do it inside that last furlong when it opens up a little bit, and he'll look like he's miles ahead, won't he?
I agree with the Aaron Bennett says there again. I put him in the Scilly Isles. He'd absolutely walk that. That's an easy grade 1, isn't it? 2.5 miles at Sandown. He'd absolutely win by half the track.
Willie won't send him over, will he?
Just one before we go, Trevor Clark. I actually looked at it today, Trevor, just before I came on. I glanced at it, and I actually fancy a horse that Dave put up before.
Fiesta Chantreuse.
Chantreuse will win the.
Stop! Don't say it out loud. It shits home as well, doesn't it?
It will.
Fuck it, say it out loud. These people have been kind enough to come on the show. We'll do the Fiestas then. Any logical reason behind it you want to give anything, or is it? I mean, it's good enough just to say it wins, right?
It's just something that's. I looked at it, and it's actually it's not great, is it? Look, there's a lot of exposed horses in it. So I'm like, he's down the bottom there. He'd be 10 stone. It'll be a bog, and I think he's a cracking bet. Chantruse, and he's 10-1. Like, he should be technically in all forms. He should be 25-1, but he's 10-1. That shows he's the right chance.
I agree, and I think it's key as well that like very well supported at Navan, wouldn't they, at December, like the comeback run after they took the cheap pieces off. It'll be interesting to know what they do headgeary wise for Thursday. I'd obviously prefer that it was back off again. I just never forget the run where it beat that Ivan, and I know the form of it's absolute like dog shit now, but I don't think he's ever surpassed that run in my eyes. But he looks now, that especially that run back in Navan, he looks now to be like off a workable mark to improve a bit. I reckon he's a good bet as well. Look at us agreeing. Go on. Don't dumb boy and fuck it. This is the problem with the Fiestas, though, isn't it, mate? I don't know if that's the right way to say it. If you run down the list of all of it, you can be like, yeah, back that.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you'd be there. No, the only thing is with him, Dave, he's been running around in hurdles all year. No, he's still. What did he run off the Kim Muir off? 1-3-1.
He won the Kim Muir, didn't he, Angels Dorm?
Yeah, he was 1-3-1. Was he 1-3-1?
Oh, she did. Sorry, she'll be back for the Kim Muir again.
Yeah, back for the Kim Muir again. Yeah. I let the boss man Davis there. OJ, I've backed that frontal assault. We know you know I have. I've backed him. I can't back him no more. And the day I don't back him, he'll win. I'm sick of backing that horse. I've shares in him. Frontal assault. He's too exposed.
It's a race that I tell you, there's a couple of shorteners. Glenn Gooley's 6-1 with Ladbrokes Corals and 12-1 top price Paddy Betfair. What's Chantry? Chantry, you can still get 12s with Hills, but yeah, general 10-1 shot, 12-1 with Sky Bet if you want to have 10p on it. Anyway, we've given you way too much. Yes, the handicaps are out for Dublin. There's lots of good racing coming up for Dublin. We've got preview this Thursday, right? So we'll be doing that live with the finishing line boys to talk about Cheltenham Trials Day. We'll talk about some other bits in there as well. I don't know how long we'll get them for, maybe an hour or something like that. It's going to go live 8:30, I think we said, didn't we?
Yep.
So we got that. Week after, we've also got something else, which I'm hoping as well will be live. And then I feel like the weeks after that, we've got stuff pretty much on the Thursdays, right? We're going to get stuff on there. Chris, can we quickly cover the DRF? I mean, we could, but we couldn't do it quickly. It's not fair, is it? Jamie, have you got any standout bets for the Dublin Racing Festival? Just one that you can give to Chris?
Oh, not at the moment. No. Oh, okay. If I know the way you're thinking runs in the 2.5 mile handicap chase, he'll ramp up.
Ooh, it's exciting, but we'll do some stuff. We'll get them done. We got some good stuff planned, and it's starting to ramp up now. I know we've had this weekend's racing could have been filthy, and the weather's scuppered it, right? And it has been that for a few weeks, but weather looks good now. We've got the right horses coming out, and we have got Trials Day, Dublin Race Festival. We've got Betfair Super Saturday at Newbury. I guess it's still sponsored by Betfair. There's a good few meetings that are coming up. There'll be a few good midweek stuff as well, and then we get the nice little lull before Cheltenham, where we can get stuck into the handicaps. We can start putting a few more bets on, and before you know it, ladies and gentlemen, it will be here. It will be upon us. We will be balls deep in dockets, and fingers crossed, we'll make a good profit of it. Anyway. I'm going to wrap it up because we said we're going to wrap it up. Jamie, any final words?
See you Thursday.
Good man.